to Wednesday yoga. So if you need a block and you have your block handy, just place it somewhere by your mat where it's accessible to you when you need it. And we're going to get started in a seated position, but we're going to sit in Virasana where we're coming into the middle of the mat. So once you're in the middle of the mat, just let your tailbone come down towards your heels and sit on your heels. If this is a little too challenging for you, you can take your block, you can separate your feet a little bit, and you can bring your tailbone down onto the block. But try to bring your legs in as close to your hips as possible, to your buttocks, and just sit up nice and tall. So if you feel that you're straining and struggling with any pressure or pain in your knees, you want to make sure that you're not staying and sustaining that pose where you're going to feel that pressure there. So if you're able to, you can come on to the buttocks or your heels and sit up nice and tall. Bring your hands to rest onto your thighs and tuck your tailbone under. So sometimes when we come into this pose, we automatically start to arch the lower back. So just let your tailbone tuck under, pull your navel into the back of the spine, and just draw your shoulders down away from the ears and letting your eyes stay closed. Let the hands come to rest onto your thighs. And so we always begin by just feeling grounded and taking time to bring our awareness into the present moment. So let's take a nice deep inhale through your nose. We're going to let it out through the mouth. And again, nice deep inhale through the nose. And sigh it out, opening through your mouth. Last one, deep inhale through the nose. And allow the eyes to remain closed. Just check in and notice any tension that you might experience through your shoulders. Try to let the neck relax. Keep your chin level with the floor. And then from here, let your eyes slowly open. We're going to slide the hands forward so that we come into a tabletop position. So bring your palms flat and make sure that they come directly underneath your shoulders. Spread your fingers wide and try to allow the middle finger and your pointer fingers to point to more towards the front of your mat. And pull your shoulders back away from the ears. Continue to keep your tailbone pressing to the wall behind you and pull your belly in. Try not to arch the back. We're going to extend the right leg all the way back, and as you do, you want to draw that right hip down towards the floor. So keep your leg extended with a point in the foot, and allow that right hip to face down towards the mat. Pull your shoulders away and continue to keep the crown of your head alongside of extending forward. And then the left arm is going to come alongside your left ear. You stretch back, finding your balance, and breathe here. So finding your Ujjayi breath, really trying to find the steadiness, the balance right away. I'm going to bend the right leg at the knee, and if you're able to, reach your left hand around and see if you can find the top of your right foot. Lift that foot up a little higher. Continue to keep the crown of your head facing forward. And get a stretch through your right quadricep and also through the right hip. And then release, take the arm and extend it forward, leg goes back. And then we're going to round the back, touch your elbow to your knee. So you want to draw your chin into the chest. And then reach and extend. Again, requiring your balance here. Then the elbow, bring the knee in to touch. And reach and extend. And one more, pull it in. We're going to hold here. Hold it in for 3, 2, and 1. Lower the palm, lower the knee. Other side, left leg extends back. So you want that hip to square down towards the mat, lift out of the mat, bring your palms to lift away from the mat. And keep that leg extended as high as you can with the toes pointed. Turn that left hip down, crown of the head faces forward. And really feel that left leg working. And then when you're ready, slowly bring the right arm and extend it alongside your right ear. And keep that left leg lifted. Try not to let it drop down. Try not to let the leg open from the hip. Bending the left leg at the knee, you're going to sweep the right hand behind. Find the top of your right foot, and then lift up. So don't worry if you can't find your foot, you can just keep the leg and the arm extended. Eventually, with practice, you'll be able to open up the hip and you'll be able to find the foot. And then release both the arm and the leg, go straight. And then we're going to bend the leg at the knee, taking the elbow in towards the knee. You pull your chin to the chest and reach and extend. Elongate through the fingers and toes. And pull in again. And reach and extend. And pulling in, and we're going to hold here. So round through your back. Hold it for 3 counts. 3, 2, 1, and lower the palm, lower the knee. And let's sit it back into hero's pose again. So get your block if you need to. You're going to sit your tailbone down towards your heels or sit onto your block. Bring your hands back onto your thighs. And let's just close our eyes and just take notice how you're feeling now, perhaps noticing that you feel a lot different than when you first began in this pose. So make sure that you're using your Ujjayi breath. Let it flow through the back of your throat. And then slowly let your eyes open. Slide your hands forward to the very top of your mat. Come onto your knees. We're going to curl the toes and lift it up into a down dog. So when you curl your toes, you want to send your tailbone back so that you're pushing the mat away to lift your hips up. So you want to push up, lift the knees, drop the head down towards the floor, and press through your heels. As your heels push down, raise your toes off the floor. Keep pushing through the heels. Feel the stretch coming into the calves. Nice deep breath. Inhale and exhale. And then from here, I'm going to look forward, taking the right leg. You're going to lunge that right foot in between the hands, taking a lunge here, right knee over the ankle. Just start to shift the weight forward and back. Try to straighten the right leg as best as you can, but keep pulling through that right hip. You want to feel a stretch coming into that left calf, also feeling a stretch coming into the right hamstring. And then shifting the weight forward, what you're going to do is take your left foot, not to meet the right foot, but you're going to take it to the opposite side. So your left foot is going to go to the right pinky side of your foot. So you're taking your left foot towards your right hand. So you're crossing the legs here. Try to let your pinky toes touch. And from here, take a nice deep breath. Inhale. And exhale, fold. So you're going to feel a lot of stretch happening into the back of the left leg, more so than the right. And then breathing here, lengthen again, inhale, and exhale, fold. Stretching and pulling that left hip up. So as you pull the hip up, you're going to feel more intensity coming into the back of the left leg. Lengthen again, inhale, and then we're going to pull the belly in. Take control by really feeling balance on both feet. Both arms come up. So slowly take it up. Reaching your arms come all the way up towards the ceiling. And we're going to bring the palms together. You're going to interlace your fingers except your pointer fingers, making steeple fingers. And you want those fingers to really stretch up. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Pull your navel into the back of the spine. Take an inhale, lift up a little higher. Exhale, take a little side bend over towards the left, pushing the right hip out to the side. And breathe here. So require yourself to really get that balance that you need. Working on finding the strength for your balance. And come back up. And then release both arms down. Once your hands come down, you can bend the knees slightly. You're going to step the left leg back, coming into a lunge position. And then your right leg is going to go back into a down dog. And let those hips lift, drop your head, press the heels down towards the mat, feel the stretch through the calves. And we'll take the left leg, lift it up, look forward, and take that left foot, lunge it in between the hands, get your knee to come over your ankle. Your right foot stays back, pushing back through the heel, and then you're going to start to shift forward and back, really pulling the left hip as far back as you can, pressing the right heel down to the floor so that you get a stretch through the right calf and feel the stretch into that left hamstring. And then from here, once you come back to your lunge, we're going to take that right foot and you're going to bring it over to where your left hand is, so that the big pinky toes are going to touch when you bring that foot there. So your legs are crossed. Take an inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. So now keep pulling the right hip up, pulling the left hip up. You're going to feel more of that stretch coming into the back of the right leg than the left. Inhale again, exhale, fold. And keep pulling your shoulders back. Make sure you're breathing in and out through your nose. I'm going to take the arms out in T position. Get that balance here. Pull your belly in. Slowly come up. So it's a little challenging here when we take it up. Bring both arms up, making those steeple fingers once again. So you're interlacing all the fingers except the index fingers. Lift up through the fingers. Inhale, and then take it stretch over to the right side, pushing the left hip out. Just feel that stretch opening through the left side of your body. Breathe. And come back to center. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward again. Both hands come onto the mat. And you're going to take your right leg back into that lunge. And the left leg's going to go back to your down dog. And pressing through the heels. Pushing those heels down, lift the toes off the floor. And then taking the right leg, let's take it all the way up to the ceiling. Lunge the right foot in between the hands. And allow that left knee to either come down or stay lifted, depending on how much of a challenge you want to move towards today. If you need to, you can take the block close to your right big toe and raise the floor up to give you a little bit more leverage. That may help you keep your left knee straight. But if you need to lower the knee down, feel free to lower the knee down. Stretch the right arm forward. Turn your chest towards the right side and reach your right arm back behind you and pull your shoulder down. You want to breathe here. So you're getting a little bit of a twist as you keep reaching the fingers of your right hand to the back of the mat or to the wall behind you. And then let's take that right hand and bring it back down onto the floor next to your right pinky toe. I'm going to take it up into a lunge. So you want to really feel that you're pushing down firmly into the back left foot, the ball of the left foot. Sweep your arms back, so requiring that balance. Squeeze your belly, lift up. Once you're here, take your arms all the way back and out to the side and bring the hands up. Reaching up towards where the wall and the ceiling meet. Your chest is lifting. Squeeze those inner thighs together. Deep breath here. Inhale and exhale. So we're going to take it right into a warrior two. So to take that warrior two, the right thigh is parallel to the floor. The left foot's going to spin flat, and you're going to open your arms out in T position. Check to make sure your right heel lines up with the instep of your left foot. Soften the shoulders down and reach and extend through the fingertips on the right hand, then reach back with the fingertips on the left hand. Deep breath here. And let's hold 2 more breaths. Now we're going to take the left hand and bring it towards the right, rotating back onto the ball of the left foot. So you're coming back into that high lunge. Both arms are going to lift. Once again, you're in your high lunge. Breathe here. And then we're going to lower the left knee all the way down to the floor. Make sure that right knee stays over the ankle. Flatten the toes on your left foot. Bring your hands into prayer to the center of your heart. We're going to take a twist. So we prepared ourselves earlier for this twist. Going a little deeper. See if you can take the left elbow and bring it right around by that knee or towards the outside of your thigh. And then push the elbow into the thigh to lift your belly off of your right thigh and pull your thumbs right into the chest. Push your right palm into the left, let that right elbow lift. Gaze up. Stay with your Ujjayi breath. Make sure your breath is smooth and even. You have the option of just staying here if you want. See if you can challenge yourself and maybe curl the back toes and push through your heel, just lifting the knee. So when we're doing this, we're not lifting the hips up. The hips don't raise up. They pretty much stay exactly where they are. You're just pushing back through that left heel. So that will give you a stretch through the left hip flexor. And then wherever you are, bring both hands down on either side of your right foot. And let's take the right leg, extend it back into a down dog. Deep breath here, in through the nose, out through the nose, pushing through your heel. Let your head hang. And let's take our left leg, lift it up. We're going to lunge that left foot in between the hands. So once you get your foot right there in between both hands, you're going to press back through that right heel. Option to keep the knee lifted, or you can place it on the floor or use your block to get you that deeper lift if you need to. So we're going to slowly come up, bring the arms back behind you, lift your chest. Pushing all the way back through that right heel, square your hips forward, shoulders down away from the ears. Nice deep inhale and exhale. And then we're going to take it back down. We're going to go into our twist from here. So you can either lower the knee down if you need to, or keep it lifted. Take your left arm forward and start to rotate open the chest and send the left arm as far back as you can, reaching to the back wall. Pull the shoulder away from your ear. Pull your left knee in towards your chest and reach back. Really energize your right foot as well, pressing back through that right heel. And from here, let's take the left arm and extend it all the way forward. We're going to come back up into that lunge position, lifting up, inhale, and we're going to flatten the right foot, coming into our warrior two. So the right foot flattens, chest opens, hip open, left knee stays over the ankle, arms are extended, shoulder height, so you don't want them to drop down, and you don't want to hunch the shoulders up. So soften the shoulders down away from the ears, lengthen out through your fingers, gaze down those left fingertips. Nice deep breath. You want to really feel those inner thighs working and opening as you stretch into the edge of your right foot. Try to keep that right leg straight. Take the right hand towards the left. Rotate onto the ball of your right foot. Both arms lift up. So you are again in this high lunge. Lifting up. Now you can keep your knee off the floor, or you can lower it down. Bring both hands into prayer. So whatever you feel that you need to get into the position, you're going to be in this twist. So you can place the knee down. Take the right elbow to the outside of the left thigh. Let that chest lift away from the thigh. So you really want to take your belly off the thigh and pull the thumbs into your chest. Pushing your left palm into your right. Left elbow lifts to the ceiling. And then you have the option, if you didn't take your twist with your knee off the floor already, you can try and see if maybe it's available to you now. And keep pushing back with that right heel. And then we're going to take and release both hands down on either side of your left foot. That left leg's going to go back for a three-legged dog. Let the heels push down. From here, let's transition forward to a plank position. So we should be able to always be in a position when we come from plank into down dog, or from down dog into plank, that we shouldn't really have to move the body much. So we should be able to just come up into, from our plank back into a down dog without having to move your hands or feet, and then you'll be able to come forward. So if you notice you're always constantly moving your hands and feet when you make this transition, you might need to find where your down dog position would be better. Maybe it means your knees have to bend. So let's come forward once again. Lift those palms off the floor. Squeeze your belly in, tuck your tail. Pull the shoulders back away from the ears. So we're holding, challenging ourselves in our plank. Press back through your heels. Deep inhale and exhale. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Pull those shoulders back. If you need to, you can always bring your knees down, but take the challenge when you're able to do that. And slight bend in the knees, lift it back up for a down dog. Let's take our right leg, lift it all the way up to the ceiling. Take your right foot, and you're going to take it to the pinky side of your right hand. So the pinky finger next to your right hand. You're going to feel the stretch already into that inner thighs and opening through the hips. Let the left knee lower down. And then we're going to start to bend both elbows together. So when you're coming down, you don't want to just collapse into one side or the other. You want to bend both elbows so that the shoulders come down evenly. And then just find where you're able to go. If you can come down to the forearms, you can do that. But you want to make sure that you're not lowering one shoulder down further than the other. So you don't want to just kind of sink down to one side. You want to keep the alignment with the shoulders. So don't worry about whether you're on your forearms or not. It depends on how flexible you are. So if you're getting a deep stretch without having to come onto your forearms, then just enjoy the stretch here and breathe through it. And then from here, if you are on your forearms, come back up onto your palms, curl your back toes, and now we're going to take the right leg and we're going to send it back to a plank position. So you're going to send it back to your plank position. So we're going to hold here. This time what we're going to do is you're going to take your right foot and the big toe and the second toe, you're going to put right behind your ankle. So you're in a one-legged plank. If it's too intense, stay in your full plank, or if you need to, you can come onto both knees and just hold here. But just try and do the best you can. Then we're going to take it right here, keeping the toes on top of that left ankle into a down dog. So you're keeping those hips pressing back. You want to feel that left hamstring getting a stretch. So push that left hip up. Come forward again, keeping the foot on top of the left ankle, and then release the right foot and take it back into your down dog. And nice deep inhale and exhale. Opening up through the shoulders. Make sure your neck isn't tight. Your head is hanging. Let's bring our left leg all the way up to the ceiling, taking the left foot to the left pinky finger. So you want to get it so that the knee is right over your ankle when you come down. The palms are right in alignment with that foot. Lower the right knee down and begin to bring your chest down. Remembering not to collapse into one side. You want to come down evenly. Both elbows are hugging in and maybe both forearms can come down. So try to keep the length through your spine. Try not to round and hunch through your neck. You don't want those shoulders to lift up. You want to really pull them back. So find your edge. If you're finding it with your hands here, that's perfectly fine. Everybody's body has different ranges of flexibility. So, and also on one side, you may notice you have more flexibility and strength on one side than the other. So if you're down on your forearms, come back up onto your palms. Curl your back toes, push back through your right heel. You're going to take your left leg, send it back to your plank. And hold here. Pull the shoulders back. And then we're going to take that left foot and you're going to take in between the big toe and the second toe and bring it right into that ankle. So right into that ankle by the heel. Pull the shoulders back. If it's too intense, you can keep yourself in plank or you can keep your knees down. Keep pulling the belly in, tucking your tail under, and then we're going to lift up into down dog, pushing that right hip back. So we want to push your right heel down. Really feel more of a stretch. You're going to feel more of that stretch now into the right, the back of the right leg into the hamstring and maybe the calf. And come forward again, keeping that left foot right above on top of that ankle. And then release. And let's take it back into a down dog. Lift the tailbone up and drop your head. Push through your heels. Nice deep inhale and exhale. And look forward. Walk your feet all the way to the very top of your mat. Once you're there, take an inhale, let the arms come out to the T position and come all the way up. Bring your palms together, look up, and slowly follow the hands as they come to the center of your heart. Take your chin into the chest, close your eyes, just stay here. Link with your breath. Make sure that breath feels that it's smooth and flowing. So remember, with practice, we build strength and flexibility. So if you're not there yet, don't worry about it. Don't let this practice, if it seems too difficult, don't let it discourage you. Only take your practice to where you can meet yourself where you are. So if you feel that you're trying to go through these poses and you don't have much of a background in yoga, you need to modify a little bit. So that's why I give you the options for those modifications. And 2 more breaths here. And then slowly let your chin come back level with the floor. Let your eyes open. Inhale with the arms up, taking it into chair. So bend your legs at the knees. Draw the tailbone down towards the mat. But you want to make sure your knees are pulling back. You don't want your knees to go beyond your toes. So you're really pulling back and pulling your belly into the back of the spine. Make sure that you're tucking under so that your back doesn't overarch. Gaze up towards where the wall and the ceiling meet. Nice deep inhale and exhale. And then let's bring the hands to prayer and take them right into the center of the heart. So now we're going to take a little balance. This is going to be a challenging balance. So straighten about halfway. Take your right ankle and place it just above your left knee. Let your right knee open out to the side. And then see if you can squat it down a little lower in your chair. Finding your balance. Squeeze your belly into the back of the spine. Keep your gaze forward. And breathe. Nice deep inhale and exhale. It's okay if you fall out. Find time to just kind of concentrate and find your way back in. And then we're going to straighten that left leg and just lift that right ankle off of the thigh. Keep the heel directly underneath your right knee. Bring both arms all the way down. Both arms come out to the side in T position. We're going to bring the arms up. You're going to put a slight bend in the left leg, and you're going to take that right foot and lunge it all the way back. So when you come back, your left knee is over the ankle, so you're back into your high lunge. And bring both hands down on either side of your left foot. And let's take it back to plank position again. Option to take that left toes into that right ankle. And breathe here. And let's let that left leg come back down and lift it back into down dog. Deep inhale and exhale. And look forward. Slowly walk your feet all the way to the very top of your mat. Once again, inhale, arms out to the side, lift up. So from here, preparing for the other side, coming into your chair, bend the legs at the knees, drop the tailbone down. Make sure that your knees are pulling back. And let those shoulders pull down away from the ears. So reach up, don't let the shoulders squish up to your ears, and really let your chest expand. Even if you open up the arms a little wider, you'll feel more space through your chest. And then we're going to stand up halfway. And when we do, we're going to lift the left leg. So that left ankle is just above your right knee. And then go down a little lower. So try to pull the tailbone back. Breathe here. Nice deep inhale and exhale as you hold. Remember, finding your balance. Make sure that you're breathing. So we're going to start to straighten the right leg, lifting the ankle off of that thigh, and keep your left knee just above your left ankle. Both arms out to the side. And we're going to take that left leg, lunging it all the way back for our lunge. Both arms lift, holding into your high lunge. Breathe here, squeeze those inner thighs together. Nice deep inhale and exhale. And then we're going to take both hands, bring them down on either side of your right foot, taking it back, option for your plank or that one-legged plank, taking the big toe in between the big toe and the second toe right into that left ankle. Pull the shoulders back and hold here. Deep inhale and exhale. Keep pulling the shoulders back, getting that upper body strong, the belly, the abdominal strong. And if you have your right foot on top of the left ankle, release it down for your plank. And let's take our first child's pose. Bring your knees down, tailbone down towards your heels. Rest your forehead to the mat and just breathe. Let everything go. Nice deep inhale and exhale. So feel that energy moving through your body, but feel your breath managing that energy. You want to manage what's moving in by utilizing your breath. So let's come back up onto all fours into a tabletop position. Now we're going to take our legs back into a plank once again. So right leg goes back, left leg goes back. From here, do the best you can to come onto your belly and your chest. So hug the elbows in, slowly bring everything down, and let everything come down at once. Once you're down, draw your forehead onto the floor and allow your arms to extend out to the side in a T position with your palms facing down. Try to bring your big toes to touch, so keep those ankle bones pulling in towards each other. Shoulders pull back away from the ears. From here, taking a back bend. So we're going to raise the forehead. So just lift your forehead without tilting your head back. And then just bring it back down to the mat. And then raise the forehead. Feel your chest lifting. And then bring the chest down, bring your forehead down. Again, raise the forehead, raise the chest, and then raise the arms, pushing into your toenails. And lower the arms, lower the chest, lower the forehead. Forehead lifts, chest lifts, arms lift, lift the legs, and hold. So try not to lift your head up. You'll be crunching into the back of the neck. So you really want to feel the work coming in through your lower back. Keep pulling your shoulders away from the ear. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Option, if you'd like, you can bring your hands behind you, interlace your fingers, and stretch the knuckles back. It gives you a little bit more open and a deeper back bend. So keep stretching the knuckles up. Try to get those legs to stay together. Lift up a little higher and lower everything down. Turn on to your left ear. Relax your arms wherever you feel the most comfortable and just let go. Breathe where you are. As you're here lying on your chest, you can notice your heartbeat. Most likely you should be able to feel it pulsating. And then turn your head onto the opposite ear so that you get an even stretch in through the neck. Return your forehead back onto the mat. Take your hands and place them right next to your shoulders, and your elbows are going to lift up. You're going to slide your hands so that they come right down to the bottom of your rib cage, close to your hips. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, and then just raise your forehead, lift your chest as high as you can, then start to push your hands to lift your chest up. Once your hips come up, bring your knees under your hips. So you're back into a tabletop position, coming into our cat and cow. So we're going to start with cow first. Curl your toes, let your tailbone tilt up, let your head look up. And then bring your toes to flatten, start to round through your back, tuck the navel, pull the navel into the back of the spine and tuck the chin into the chest. Inhale, curling the toes, start to tilt up, try to let the head be the last to move. And then toes go flat. Start by using your tailbone, tucking under. Feel the back rounding, and then finally the chin comes into the chest. One more time. Curl the tail, lift up. Head raises up left. And then flatten the toes and tuck under. Round your spine. Take the chin into the chest. Come to a neutral spine. And let's take our legs, extend them out to one side, and find your way onto your buttocks. So you're going to bring the soles of your feet together. So come more to the middle of your mat. So once the soles of your feet come together, you want to make sure you're establishing that straight spine. Again, if you feel that you need to sit on your block to lift you up a little more, it might feel easier on your hips and on your back. So pull your heels in close. Take the hold of the soles of your feet. Pull your shoulders away from the ears, and then we're going to hinge forward. So only come forward without starting to round. So keep the belly drawn in. You're going to feel your inner thighs opening, your hips getting a little stretch, as well as the groin. And just fold as far as you can go without rounding the back first here. And then once you get down as deep as you can go, don't worry about how low you are. Keep trying to maintain the form and just bring yourself down, close your eyes, and just stay with that stretch for a little while. Really experience the way that your back is expanding and opening, the way your hips are opening, and breathe. And slowly come back up. So we're going to take the right leg, and you're going to extend the right leg forward. Take the left foot and bring it right flat on the floor. So your right leg is extended, your left foot is flat on the floor. You're going to take your your left hand is going to reach and extend to the inside of your left leg. So imagine someone's pulling your left hand further and further beyond your right foot. Keep reaching. Try to get your right armpit to wrap around your right shin. Do the best you can to get the left hand to come to the lower back. Take the right hand forward and imagine someone's pulling the right hand forward. You're going to swim that right arm back and around and see if you can maybe connect and bind with your left hand. Now, if you can't reach your hand, you can always use a belt or a tie. So you can hold that tie in your left hand as you bring it around. And when your right arm comes around, you'll be able to find where that tie is, and you'll be able to pull. So you'll be pulling in closer with your right hand closer to your left. So we're folding down, opening up through that left hip, that left inner thigh. And then from here, close your eyes. So one of your props should also be something like a belt. They do sell yoga belts, or you can you always use a tie. Sometimes we need that to try and get our hands closer to each other. So very slowly, open your eyes if they're closed, and release your bind. We're going to take the left leg forward, slide your right foot in. So you want to have about a fist distance between the foot and your left thigh. You want to sit up tall. Now the right arm is going to come to the inside of your right thigh as you reach and extend. So feel someone pulling you forward. Then as you wrap the arm around, you want to try and get as best as you can that armpit around your right shin and take it around with the right hand coming towards your lower back. Take the left arm, reach it forward, swim it around, and see if you can find and bind with your right hand. So you might find you have the ability to do it on one side but not on the other, because a lot of times we do have more flexibility. Sometimes one side has more flexibility and strength. So once again, if you have that belt or the tie, you're going to find holding on with the right hand and left hand. And you're keeping that extended foot flex, drawing your chest down. And once you get into the pose, just close your eyes and breathe. So it's important that we take these deeper stretches and then hold them so that we really let those muscles elongate, let them strengthen up or get more flexible for us. And then slowly lift up, unbind your fingers, and let's take the feet together once again, taking bound angle. So soles of the feet together, heels in close to the groin, turn the soles of your feet up to the ceiling, hinge from your hips and come forward. Nice long spine, so second time around doing this Baddha Konasana bound angle pose. And let those knees try to really release down. Pull the chest towards the soles of the feet. And once you get to that deepest place, just close your eyes. And slowly come back up, nice straight spine. You're going to lean back onto your hands, take your feet to the outer edges of your mat. So as you lean back, you're going to just take your knees over to one side. Lift back up and over to the other side. So keep a wide space so that your feet are as wide as your mat. Lift back up and go over once again to the right, coming through center and taking it over to the left. And come back up through center. And let's just scoot our hips forward, lying down on our back. So keep your heels in close to your buttocks and let your hands just come down alongside your body, palms down on the floor. Let's take our right leg, extend it all the way up towards the ceiling. Flex the foot. So you want to really push your heel up to the ceiling. When you flex your foot, you're going to feel this whole stretch opening in through the back of your right leg and through the back of the knee and in through the calf, keeping the heel pushing up. And the toes are facing down towards your feet. And then wherever you can, interlace your fingers and just slide them up close to your ankle as possible. If your leg is not very high up, you may not be able to get beyond your thigh. So just hold beyond your thigh. Never hold behind the knee, but maybe you can get to the calf. So keep that foot flexed. Now while you're here, draw your navel into the back of the spine. Really feel the lower back pushing down and feel your hips pressing towards the floor. Flexing that foot, you're just going to lift your nose towards your right, maybe towards your right, your nose towards your right toe. And so try not to strike round through the back. Keep the foot flexed so that you feel the deeper stretch. So we're also working on getting some abdominal strength here. And then lower your back all the way down and release your right foot to the floor. Both knees are bent. Take the left leg, extend it up, and flex the foot. So feel the full stretch into that left leg. So don't worry about how high the leg is. Maybe it's only 45 degrees. Do the best you can to get the leg to lift so that you feel your own best stretch through your hamstring and your calf. Hips are staying grounded, lower back is pushing to the floor. Then reaching up, finding wherever you can, hold to the back of that leg. And you may notice in one side you have more range of motion than the other. So keep that foot flexed. First, you want to really feel that work in that left leg. Keep that left leg as straight as possible. Even if it's lower down, keep it straight. And then you're going to raise your head up towards your nose is coming up towards your toes. So we're not bringing the chin in. We're not pulling the leg towards the face, but we're lifting the nose towards the toes. So pull the lower back down into the mat, pressing your navel into the back of the spine. And make sure that you're breathing in through your nose, out through your nose. And then slowly lower your head back down and bring that left foot back onto the floor. Separate your feet wider than the width of the mat like we did earlier. I'm going to bring the arms slightly out in a T position. And we're going to windshield wiper the legs to the right side. And let the knees come back up through center and windshield wiper to the left side. And again, up through center, over to the right. And up through center and over to the left. So we're going to finish up with a twist. So let's bring both legs into the chest. So actually, we're not going to do that. We're going to keep the feet flat on the floor. Bring your arms out in a T position. So when your feet are flat on the floor, draw your navel into the back of the spine so you feel your lower back pushing down to the floor. Just lift your hips up slightly. So now if you were going to just rock your hips side to side, we're going to just rock the hips over to the left. Then you're going to draw your right buttock down, and you're going to take the knees over to the right. So you're going to just shift the hips over to the left, and then you're going to bring your left leg on top of the right and just get a deeper twist here. So when you pull the left side of your body more to the left side of your mat, it gives you more of an extension into the left side. You can, if you want, place your right hand onto your left knee and then take your gaze to look over the left fingers. Keep that left shoulder on the floor, and then just wherever you are, let your eyes close and enjoy the space that you're creating, the stretch that you're being able to give yourself. And return your head center and release your right arm back in T position and bring your left foot back down and right foot. So you're going to have to square your hips back to center. So feet are flat on the floor, arms out in T, pull the navel into the back of the spine, raise your hips. And this time we're going to just kind of shift the hips over to the right side. So your left hip or left buttock comes down. Let that left knee fall over to the right and bring the right leg on top. Intensifying that twist a little bit. Try to keep the right shoulder down. If you want, your left hand can find your right knee and look over to the right, gazing down the fingertips, or close your eyes and breathe where you are. So you really want to feel your back opening and getting some nice space there through your lower back and through the whole right side of your body as well. And just really let everything go. And slowly return your head back center. You can open your eyes and release your left hand. Right leg comes back, left foot comes flat. And then just pick up your hips and shift them back to the middle of your mat. Hug both knees into your chest. Lift your nose up towards your knees. Hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower back down. Lower your feet back to the floor. One more time, we're going to pull the knees into the chest. Wrap the hands around the shins. Pull the navel into the spine. Inhale, lift your nose up towards the knees. Exhale, and just hold. Keep breathing. When we're holding it, we're not holding our breath. We're holding the pose. So holding it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly let your back come down, head comes down. Bring both feet down to the floor and let your arms open out. Prepare for your relaxation now, so if you want to put any warm clothing on, this is the time to do it, so that you feel comfortable and able to relax. Let your legs extend straight forward, slightly open. Let your feet flop out to the side. Move your body around, make any final adjustments that you need to. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift your chest, and relax your arms out. So you don't want your arms way out in T position, shoulder height. You want to kind of have them halfway between a T position and in towards your body. Make sure your palms are open towards the ceiling. Let your eyes gently close. And take this time to let everything go. Maybe you found that it was a little challenging for you today, or maybe it was just what you needed. Sometimes what we need when we need those challenges, we seem to get them. So just relax where you are. Remember, every day is different. You always bring a different body with you. Maybe one that's stronger, maybe one that's not as strong. So modify according to what you need, according to how you feel. So Just because you might not feel very energized or strong doesn't mean that you don't do your practice. Even a gentle practice is better than no practice at all. So with each exhalation, feel the body just deepening a little more into relaxation. Every bit of tension moves out of the muscles. You're finding a calm stillness. So noticing everything is calm, even the breath. Even though the chest is moving, the belly is moving with the breath, it feels as if it's a calming sensation, way to really make you relax. So do the best that you can to stop the mind from chattering away. If it is chattering away, just connect to your breath. When it starts to wander back to the thoughts, to that chatter, take your mind and focus back on your breath. So that's why we call it a practice, because we're always practicing. We're always practicing so that we can notice things changing. And when we notice things change, then we know that there's a possibility to change other parts of ourselves that we feel we need to change and work toward. So our physical practice helps us really look into our own emotional and mental way of being, into maybe our emotional and mental struggles that we deal with. So right now, just let everything go. Feel the heaviness of your body and sink as deep as you can into relaxation. Relax, relax, relax. without opening your eyes or moving your body. Just notice and experience where you are right now. Let yourself just observe the body as it rests. And slowly, one finger at a time, begin to move. And just envision that you're able to move one toe at a time until all 10 toes are wiggling, as well as all 10 fingers. Start to then move your wrists and your ankles, slowly coming back to your body, to this moment, to your mat. On a nice deep inhale, take your arms and stretch them all the way over your head, reaching as far back as you can. Point your toes. Exhale out any sighs, downs, or moans. Gently hug and pull your knees into your chest and gently rock from side to side. Just massage your back, awakening your back, taking your body back into this present moment. Rolling all the way over onto the right side of your mat. So come into a comfortable fetal position, going into Garbhasana. You want to rest your head on your inner right arm. Bring your left hand in front of you onto the floor in front of your chest. And just stay here for a moment. Be with your stillness. Be with your peace. And rather than looking at what you couldn't do, take a moment to be grateful and thankful for the things that you were able to do today. When we always try our best, we should always be thankful that we did our best and look for those little things that we were able to achieve. When we start to put our expectations in the way, we start to then find that we get frustrated and discouraged, and we don't want to continue. And sometimes that can happen to you. You might feel that you pushed yourself too hard, and then you decide it's not right for you. But if you're getting in your own way, then you're going to have to really look at your practice. So using your left hand as leverage, push yourself up into a seated position and try to bring your chin into the chest as you come up and let the head come up last. And once you're there, take your hands into Anjali Mudra with your thumbs pressing gently into the center of your heart. And just see if you can tap in or just notice the heart beating. And notice how when you have to listen for your heart, you have to really focus and your concentration is going into that state. And then once you are actually able to feel your heart beating, let your left hand come onto the heart and place your right hand on top of your left. And so you're feeling the whole heart beating through your left palm. Take this time to thank yourselves for coming to your practice, taking time out of your evening. And take time to send yourself some love and compassion. And then return your hands back into Anjali Mudra. And we're going to close as we chant Om 3 times. We'll only chant one time. So let's take a nice deep breath in. Om. And very slowly and gently lower your chin down to your chest as you bow to that light and love that shines within you. Know that that light and love shines brightly within each and every one of us. Namaste. And thank you very much, everyone, for joining, for practicing with me. And I hope to see you next time. Have a great evening.